The global diamond market is a multi-billion-dollar illusion built on a manufactured scarcity where a single cartel controlled the entire global supply to artificially inflate the prices of a common mineral. By tying this worthless rock to the concept of eternal love, De Beers ensured consumers would buy diamonds but never sell them, successfully preventing a secondary market from ever crashing their empire. Imagine a commodity that has almost no intrinsic value, is highly abundant in nature, and yet people are willing to trade months of hard-earned salary to possess. This is not the story of a rare treasure, it is the story of the most successful psychological heist in human history. To understand how this trap was built, we have to go back to the year 1867, to a dusty farm near the Orange River in South Africa. A young boy found a small, shiny pebble on the ground. It was a diamond, but not just any diamond. It was the spark that would ignite a massive diamond rush, uncovering giant underground deposits known as kimberlite pipes. Before this discovery, diamonds were genuinely rare, found only in small quantities within India and Brazil. Suddenly, millions of carats of diamonds were being extracted from South Africa. The British financiers backing these mines faced a terrifying realization: if these diamonds reached the public market freely, their value would crash to zero. They would be as cheap as common quartz. Enter Cecil Rhodes. Rhodes was a ruthless British businessman who realized that the only way to maintain the high price of diamonds was to control every single mine on Earth. He went on a massive buying spree, using aggressive financial leverage to consolidate all competing claims. By 1888, he had formed De Beers Consolidated Mines. From that moment on, De Beers did not just mine diamonds, they owned the entire concept of diamonds. Rhodes established a single sales channel called the London Syndicate. If you mined diamonds anywhere in the world, you had to sell them to De Beers. If a miner tried to bypass them, De Beers would use its massive financial reserves to flood the market with identical stones, driving the price down to zero, bankrupting the rogue miner, and then buying up their mines for pennies on the dollar. It was absolute, unchecked corporate warfare. But controlling the physical supply was only half the battle. As the decades rolled on, De Beers faced an even larger, more dangerous threat: the secondary market. Unlike cars, clothes, or food, diamonds do not decay, rust, or get consumed. They accumulate. If every generation kept buying diamonds and then reselling them when they needed cash, the market would eventually be flooded with recycled jewelry. De Beers would have to compete with its own past sales, and the price of diamonds would collapse. They needed a psychological mechanism to stop people from ever selling their diamonds. In 1938, as the Great Depression gutted luxury sales and Europe stood on the brink of war, Harry Oppenheimer, who had taken control of De Beers, made a historic trip to New York City. He met with the legendary ad agency N.W. Ayer & Son. Their mission was simple yet incredibly difficult: convert a luxury product that was failing into a mass-market necessity. The ad agency conducted deep psychological research on the American public. They discovered that Americans viewed diamonds as a display of wealth exclusive to the elite. To change this, the agency decided to link diamonds to the most fundamental, powerful human emotion of all: romantic love and commitment. They began a massive campaign targeting young men and women. They sent representatives to high schools to give lectures on diamond history. They paid Hollywood stars to wear massive diamond rings in films and at red carpet events. They planted articles in magazines suggesting that a man's love could be measured by the size of the diamond he bought. Then, in 1947, a copywriter named Francis Geraghty wrote 4 words on a piece of paper that would change the world forever: "A diamond is forever." This was not just a romantic tagline, it was a brilliant financial defense mechanism. The word forever subtly instructed the buyer that a diamond must never, under any circumstances, be sold. To sell a diamond was to commodify your love, to cheapen your marriage, and to invite bad luck. By convincing the world that diamonds were eternal family heirlooms, De Beers successfully kept hundreds of millions of carats locked away in jewelry boxes, permanently out of the secondary market. With the supply side secure and the psychological trap set, De Beers went even further. They needed to establish a price anchor. In the mid-20th century, they launched a campaign asking a direct, highly manipulative question: how else can 2 months' salary last forever? This genius psychological anchor set a societal standard. Suddenly, every young man looking to propose felt immense pressure to spend exactly 2 months of his gross income on a ring. If he spent less, it meant he did not love his partner enough. This was arbitrary, fake pricing masquerading as tradition, and the public fell for it entirely. For nearly a century, this system worked flawlessly. De Beers controlled up to 90% of the global diamond trade. When massive new diamond mines were discovered in Siberia in the 1950s, De Beers did not panic. They simply struck a secret deal with the Soviet Union, buying up all Russian diamonds to maintain their artificial monopoly. But eventually, even the strongest empires begin to crack. By the turn of the 21st century, antitrust laws in the United States and the European Union made De Beers cartel operations highly illegal, forcing them to dismantle their centralized selling model. More importantly, technology did what regulators could not. The rise of lab-grown diamonds has completely shattered the illusion. Today, scientists can recreate the extreme heat and pressure of the Earth's mantle in a laboratory, producing diamonds that are chemically, physically, and optically identical to mined diamonds, but at a fraction of the cost. De Beers spent millions of dollars trying to convince the public that lab-grown diamonds were fake or cheap, but the consumer landscape had changed. Modern couples are prioritizing financial stability over corporate-mandated traditions. The brilliant, century-long illusion that a common stone holds the key to eternal romance is finally beginning to fade, exposing the truth that the diamond's high value was never written in the stars, but engineered in a corporate boardroom. If this deep dive into corporate manipulation and the psychological traps of luxury brands shocked you, you must watch our video about how a secret $800 loophole built a $100 billion empire.